Oh my gosh, another day of funny social interactions. First, I go to hospital per usual, and they see a black girl from Africa, and I'm approaching her and asking her if she can teach me a couple words from her language, and she's with her Sri Lankan friends. Looked at me like I was asking her something weird because normally people don't ask an African person to teach an African language. But I said, look, yesterday I talked to Sri Lankan girls and they taught me some Tamil. And they said, hi, how are you? You look beautiful in Tamil to Indian the Sri Lankan girls. And they responded to me, laughed and smiled, and then she kind of gained my credibility. And so she taught me, she spoke three languages, English and her father tongue and her mother tongue, taught me a couple of words. And I just remember that I saw this girl yesterday. She was buying some Belarusian pastry, Belarusian snacks. So I'll probably see her again. And she also told me a general hello for African people, like Afa, I think, or Afe. And they said it today to another black girl I saw at the bus stop, and she just kind of blushed, I'd say, and covered her mouth in excitement. So that was great. Then on the way back, I see three brown guys. I'll just say brown. I don't know what to use. Sri Lankan, Indian, but three brown guys. One of them on the bike. I'm approaching the one that's on the bike, and I'm saying in Tamil, hey, do you speak Tamil? He's like, no, I speak Sinhala. I'm like, God damn it, again. He said, but he speaks Tamil. And I turned to his friend, said, do you speak Tamil? He's like, yeah, I speak Tamil. And then started responding to me. And I'm like, that's all I know, bro. And then the third one, who didn't enter the conversation yet, said, wait, are you Vlad? I was so shocked at the moment. Yes, I am Vlad. Like, do people talk already about me that there is some white Belarusian guy learning Indian languages? And he said, yo, bro, remember we've met at the gym? And now I remember there was a group of three guys I met at the other gym I went to like half a year ago. Oh my God. And that was a crazy reunion. I just saw three brown guys and decided to approach them to ask them to teach me a word. And oh my God, that was just great. I could have passed them, but yeah, so we spoke for around 3 minutes, and then I went to I said, I'm gonna go to the store, I'll see you later. They're like, all right, see you, bro. And then on the way to the store, I see a very beautiful girl walking in front of me. Well, she looked nice, her style was nice, and she's carrying a bag in her hand. And I thought, I would only approach her if if I'm actually interested in something in her, not for her prettiness, I guess. And so I'm approaching her, saying hello. She responds, also kind of blushing, hello. And I say, so how is the bag you're carrying? And she was carrying kind of like a grocery bag style bag, but I don't know what to call, like Gucci bag or something. I say, how's this bag better than a backpack? She says, well, I don't have that many things. And then she says, like, touches her eye, and I see what's it called, tear. And I said, oh, sorry, did I frustrate you? He's like, no, it's just windy. And then we talked a little bit more about how her bag is better or worse than a backpack. And then I was kind of satisfied with conversation, but it was my favorite time. The crossing time, we had to cross the streets 2 times. And I just tried my chances. I said, do you speak any foreign language? She said no, and then I was like, yeah, that's a pity. That's probably it. And then I didn't say bye or anything. We just stood next to each other on the island, and she went her way, I went my way. I liked it. I didn't want to say anything like, oh, thank you for conversation, bye, see you later. I'm going to the store, And guess who I see at the milk section? I see the Indian guys. those three dudes again. We dub each other up. I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm gonna see you at the counter or something. But that already feels kind of awkward. And I'm about to pay for my groceries. And I see them like 50 meters in front of me also going to pay, where it's a self checkout. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready for this. It's gonna be kind of awkward. I don't want to talk anymore. Like, I've had enough of them. And if I just don't talk, it's gonna be weird that I pretend to be strangers or something. And so I turn to the left in the aisle, and who I see some very familiar face. A girl walking in the aisle. I'm like, Olia, is that you? As she passes right next to me. She's like, yes, Olia, that's me. I'm like, do you remember me? Yes, Vlad. And then I talked a little bit with her. That's like my neighbor. For the whole week, we used to ride the elevator together. When I used to go to my lifting at 8 a.m., it was me, my neighbor, who is the head of the family. He's like 40, 50 years old, and her. Every freaking day in the elevator. We go in the elevator together. She's already there. Sometimes there is like a middle school boy, and it's so dense in there. No space. We always talk about something weird. And then I haven't seen her for half a month, for 6 months. She says, yeah, I know. I said, what, so why are you grocery shopping? Aren't you in your senior year of university? She's like, I'm kind of sick right now, so I still go to lectures, but most of them I take online. I'm like, damn, I've been also sick for 5 weeks. We lived in the same apartment and never visited each other. Of course, I did not say that. I only thought of that. I still don't know what floor she lives on, but maybe I'll find out. And then I asked, what do you learn? She says, oh, I study coding. I'm like, oh my god, do you know Anthropic Claude? Because I've been studying coding recently too. And she's like, no, I hate it. So why do you study it? Well, you have to get an education, right? You have to have a diploma. And that's what separates Belarusian people. They don't care in what. They just care about having a diploma. It doesn't matter what it's about. So I see that she started to check her phone, and I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. She's like, okay, see you later. Ooh, that was already so much, but then I decided to bike around the city again, listening to the podcast, and I went to one basketball court, and there were like 100 of students there. I thought, okay, I'll bike around the stadium, one circle. Then I walk one around just to look at the people again. And as I was finishing the second circle, the walking circle, and I see groups of people walking around. There were also 2 girls who were walking by themselves, one by herself, the other by herself. But she's gone in front of me, and my foot kind of hurts, so I couldn't keep up with her. I thought maybe I'm not gonna call her out. I'll just wait till she catches up with me, or I don't know. And as I was finishing my second lap, all the students were lined up and they were leaving. Oh my god, that felt devastating. And so after that, I just went home. And crazy thing, I'm just biking past my stadium, like the stadium of one of the high schools here, and I see a crazy picture. So many, I don't know how many, 11, 12 Sri Lankan, I assume, guys are playing cricket, I think it is, in Belarus. Bunch of white people who never even seen brown people before, just standing around and watching them. And it's so cool. They have their formation. Like, I don't know the rules, but it was just majestic. Oh my god, I just ate. Majestic seeing this. And now I'm sitting in my apartment, and I think my social day is over. I'm just gonna watch some anime, swim. Anime is about swimming, by the way, so I'm watching that to fire myself up. yeah, then go to swim and then go to sleep.